Pfizer's booster shot passed the final panel of independent advisors with the CDC in a 9-6 vote. This after the FDA's panel said last week the data was not strong enough to advocate an extra shot. But CDC Director Rochelle Walensky reversed one recommendation by the advisors and also endorsed the booster shot for frontline workers.
So the ayes have it, and this recommendation is adopted.
A vote of confidence from the CDC's independent panel recommends boosters for people over 65, nursing home residents 50 years and up with underlying health problems, and people over the age of 18 if they have medical problems.
You're tasked with difficult decisions, weighing the risks and benefits, extrapolating from sometimes the wealth and sometimes the paucity of data available.
The panel stopped shy of giving the go-ahead for frontline workers, but CDC Director Rochelle Walensky broadened access to boosters by going against the panel's recommendation and giving the green light to boosters for healthcare workers, teachers, and other workers at risk, a big boost for the president's vaccination campaign.
That's why I've made getting COVID under control my top priority from my first day as president.
Despite the White House's full-court press for boosters, Thursday's decision is a significant scale back from the administration's initial plan to dispense Pfizer boosters to everyone, even teens 16 and up.
We have plenty of supply of all three vaccines for boosters pending, obviously, the FDA and the CDC recommendations.
And while boosters for Moderna and Johnson & Johnson wait their turn for approval, hospitals around the country continue to deal with the Delta variant, which is hitting the unvaccinated at far higher rates.
We have ICU patients outside of our intensive care unit in other areas of our hospital.
The booster shot decision was founded on trial data from Israel, where a third shot is already being given, despite objections from the World Health Organization purporting poor countries don't have enough for their first dose. Brody Carter, CBN News.
Well, our CBN News medical reporter, Lori Johnson, is with us. So, Lori, it looks like this is just for people who have gotten the Pfizer shot. So what about those who have J&J and Moderna?
Right. So about half of all the people who are fully vaccinated got the Pfizer shot. And so if they are interested in getting a booster, and studies show, Gordon, that about 75% of all people who have been fully vaccinated do want a booster, they should look on the website for their state health department or call their local pharmacy. A lot of times you need to make appointments, but it doesn't look like you're going to have to prove whether you have some sort of an underlying condition. You just tell them, I'm a frontline worker, and they'll give you your booster. But to get to your point about what do people who have gotten Moderna or J&J do, and that makes up about half of the other people who have gotten fully vaccinated. Moderna has put in a request for boosters with the FDA. So we might be seeing a green light for the Moderna boosters within days or weeks. So folks who have had the Moderna booster, hold tight. But as far as J&J is concerned, and this is 14 million people who got J&J, nothing has been submitted to the FDA as far as those people are concerned. So what the advice is to people who have gotten J&J and who are interested in getting a booster, call your doctor or local health agency, because a lot of times they're going ahead and giving them boosters of other mRNA shots. Gordon.
Well, we've got some good news, at least I hope it's good news. The head of Moderna is now predicting the end of the pandemic next year. What do you think of that prediction?
I thought it was really interesting, and it was also corroborated by Dr. Scott Gottlieb, who was the FDA commissioner under Donald Trump. I interviewed him last week, and that interview is going to air next week on Monday on the 700 Club. And he said that he believes that this Delta wave is going to be the last big surge that we have, and then the pandemic is going to transition into an endemic, which means basically it's going to come around every year, sort of like the flu, where we get a shot every year for it. And so it's going to, gradually digress to something more manageable. So we need to pray that those predictions are true.
Well, part of the prediction was that Moderna is now working on a combo vaccine. So the vaccine for flu, for COVID, and for SARS all in one shot. What can you tell us about that, and where do we stand on the development of that?
Well, it's very exciting, and a lot of drug companies are working on a way to sort of combine the flu and the COVID vaccine. And so it's really interesting what's going on with the vaccine companies regarding the booster shots. Right now, the Pfizer booster shot is exactly like the first two, same dose. But interestingly, the Moderna booster is going to be half of the dose of the first two.
Okay. Is all of this based on mRNA technology? So all of this is really brand new to medical science?
Well, not really. A lot of people are afraid of the mRNA vaccines because they say it's really new. Actually, mRNA technology has been around for decades, but this is really just the first mRNA vaccine that has been broadly used within the public. So mRNA technology is not really that new.
Okay.